Hey, it's Olivia-Savannah here from Olivia's Catastrophe, and today I'm starting a vlog, and in this vlog we are going to Barbados. While we are in Barbados, we will not be reading Barbadian books because I did not have any, and I didn't want to buy books because I'm on a TBR challenge. Instead, what we're going to be doing is that while I'm in Barbados, I will be reading island literature. The authors that I'll be reading are they're Trinidadian, from Trinidad and Tobago, and I've also got a book by Jamaica, Kincaid. We will be reading island literature while living the island life. Barbados is a new to me country. I've never been there before. We're flying from Jamaica, so if this ending looks familiar to the Jamaica vlog, it's because we're still in Kingston and we're going to fly now and land in Bridgetown. Hello my friends, if it looks like I look really hot, it's because I just really am. Here in Barbados it's like 30 degrees already. It's going to stay at that temperature all day. We went on a quick walk and we got some water, this is essential, and just like did a little quick trip to get money as well. And now we are prepared to go out on our first venture. So we are going to a Mount Gay rum tasting. So Mount Gay is a type of rum that I've had before and it originates here in Barbados. It's a bit expensive in the UK, it'll be cheaper here. So I've got to stock up. We're going to do a rum tasting and then we're going to go to a beach, one of the many beaches. This is the living room. We got Simmy, you can fly. We got Mummy. Hi. TV, and out here we have a little veranda area. It's me, ready for my day. Kitchen with everything we could need in it. Oh my gosh, Mummy's here again. What is currently Mummy and Simmy's room. Absolutely necessary air conditioning right there. Bathroom number one. My room, which is just for me. Me again. The nails match the dress. Check the fit. My bathroom. Whoa, had a really nice shower this morning. Okay. This is not a disability carer vlog, but we actually had the worst experience getting here in terms of getting the plane from Kingston Airport. Kingston Airport is the worst airport we've ever been in, accessibility wise. To Barbados, we had to have a changeover in Trinidad and Tobago and get on the smallest plane that I remember ever being on, because my dad kindly informed me I've been on smaller. So Siri, how do you feel after the rum tasting?
I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. You're telling me to calm down.
That's because she's becoming an alkie and they're my youngest sibling, okay? We can't do this.
I drank a lot of rum.
Bro, it wasn't even that much. Calm yourself.
It was strong rum.
Yesterday we went to Mount Gay rum tasting and it was really good. They let us in so we could do the history bit. We were a bit late. So we got all of the history, we got our free cocktail, and then to do the rum tasting with the group, we had to go upstairs. And obviously we could not do that with Simi in the wheelchair. So what we did instead was they gave us a private rum tasting, which was much better because we could ask loads and loads of questions, which was really, really nice. And we got so involved and he interacted so nicely with us that he let us try an extra 2 rums. So we actually tried 6 rums in the end, which was lovely. And of course it did work in their favor because we bought 3 rums and then my mum bought 3 rums. So we've all got loads of rum and we are stocked up. Simi, what did you think of the rum?
I really liked the rum. It's so strong, like how they do in the Caribbean. Nobody does rum like us.
And Mummy was drunk.
I was not drunk, that's not true.
The strongest thing Mummy tends to drink is wine usually, so
I was not drunk.
it was very funny watching Mum try the rums. And then we went to Brandon Beach and had a beach time. I started reading The God of Good Looks and I am 50-ish pages in, a bit more, and I have to say I'm not enjoying it. I don't think the writing is good. I don't sympathize with the main character. I just am not enjoying this book at all, and I don't think it's doing the modeling experience very well. Even though it's touching on some very serious subjects, it does it with such a light touch that I want it to go more in depth. So I'm not particularly loving the book, but I'm going to read a little bit more before I DNF it and switch to something else. And then, so I'll read a little bit more today and then choose if I'm going to DNF it or not. Now we are going out for breakfast and then we are going to try and go to the Barbados Museum. So let's see how we go. Hello friends, yesterday I introduced my mama to Bridgerton. Mummy, how are you liking Bridgerton?
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. And now she's a bit annoyed at me because I'm recording this instead of recording Bridgerton. But this is rum punch flavoured rum cake. Now, I think you've established here, don't talk about alcohol much on my channel because it's mostly a family friendly channel, but rum is my favourite alcohol. And so of course, rum cake is something I really love. And you can gather that from the rum tastings as well. So this is rum punch flavoured rum cake, which I've never had before. I've had rum cake standard flavour. But yeah, let's see. And this is also store-bought. I don't think I've ever had rum cake that is store-bought. Only ones that are like takeaway or made by my auntie. So good. So good. And I love that it's kind of like damp, because you can taste that there's actually like rum in it for real, for real. But let me tell you about what we did today as well. Today, we went to Museum of Barbados, which has low ratings, but actually I don't think it should have had those low ratings because I really like the museum. Learned a lot of information. Not all of it is Barbados specific. Some of it is Caribbean specific, but I also did like what was Barbados specific. It was interactive. We had a really fun time. And after Barbados Museum, we've come back here. We're gonna keep watching episode 2 of Bridgerton for Mummy. Of season 1. I love season 1, it's my favorite. Daphne and Simon forever. They're kind of toxic, but I kind of love them. Simon is like literally the only Bridgerton lead I think is hot. Great time. And then we are going to take advantage of the swimming pool that we have on this campus that we haven't yet. So time for us to do that. Also, I've decided to DNF the God of Good Looks. It's just not working for me. The writing is really poor quality. I'm not invested in the story. And even though I brought it on holiday, I just need to remind myself it's still okay to unhaul it and to DNF it. And I also started the next fanfic. We've lost count of the fanfics, folks. I may be on fanfic number 6 or number 7. I'm going a bit slow with this one. I'm reading a lot of the fanfics that are not very steamy, but are very emotional and slow burn and pining, which is good. But they're also the ones where often Kavinsky is showing up and making a lot of trouble. So they're actually really, really sad and emotionally taxing. I think I'm kind of done with that now. So we'll see if I actually finish this fanfic this holiday. Hi, I just wanted to update you on our last few days because we're almost at the end of this Barbados trip. So on the day before yesterday, we spent the whole day at Breanne Beach, I think it was. It's the one where you can take a boat to Carlisle Bay, but none of the boats were accessible, so we weren't able to go to Carlisle Bay. But we stayed on the beach, which was really, really beautiful. The sand was exquisite. There were no rocks. We just spent the whole day having our last full warm sunshiny beach day, which I absolutely loved. And then we had some dinner, came back, and the next day we went to St. Nicholas Abbey railway station. So we took a taxi all the way up there, and it's all the way on the north part of the island where we hadn't been before. And we went on the steam train. It's still an active working steam railway. We went on a train. It took us to Cherry Hill, where we had the highest view that we've had of Barbados so far this holiday. And then we went down to St. Nicholas House, which is an old plantation house, and had a tour of the house. There were a couple of stairs, but our guide was pretty good at making sure that we managed to get where we needed to go. It was really cool seeing that history. And then lastly, we had a tour of their rum distillery. So they make all of their rum on site, and they only sell it on site. So it was nice to have a little rum tasting. This was a much smaller rum tasting than the Mount Gay one. They gave us a lot less rum to taste, but that was fine. We were mostly there for the house tour and the train. So we tried a little bit of their rum, which was also really lovely, even though I prefer Mount Gay. And then we kind of saw how they took the whole process from their sugarcane fields to making their sugarcane back in the day to how they do it now and how they distill the rum and age it, and it was very informative. I think the tour element to the St. Nicholas distillery was better than the tour element of Mount Gay, but the rum tasting was better in Mount Gay. And so because I bought 3 bottles of rum at the other place, I only bought 1 bottle of rum liqueur, and that's what I took home with me. I also bought a painting while I was there because the artwork was nice. I'm just nervous about transporting it home. We came back, watched Bridgerton, and had some lunch at Chefette, which is this restaurant that everybody recommended that's a bit fast foody, but I didn't really like it that much. I didn't think the food was that good quality. I've finished reading my last fanfic. I know it's my last fanfic now for real, because I'm not really in the mood and in the mode to read it. And I've started Annie John by Jamaica Kincaid, and a lot of it is about death and grief in the beginning, so it's a bit emotional, but the writing is exquisite. Jamaica Kincaid just knows how to write very well. But I've got to go now because we are going to do our very last full day activity, or like big activity that we're doing on this trip, which is a Bridgetown walking tour.
Throw your hands in the air.
Reached the end of the vlog, which is so sad because I've loved my time in Barbados and I don't want it to end. Sorry about the glare there. So basically what we did today is we went on a Bridgetown walking tour, and that was really informative. We had a great guide. She knew so much information and she like took us in a lot of detail. We went on the 9 a.m. one, which was the right choice because it got so warm at the peak of the day. I'm glad they switched us from the 10 a.m. one. We walked all around, we learned so much history. I didn't know that Rihanna's last name was Fenty. That makes so much sense. But also just a lot of history and culture about the settlements and who kind of came to the island and made it what it is, the plantations, and how tourism is their biggest industry. I also learned a lot about how Coca-Cola is buying up the coast of Barbados right now, and how in a couple years it's all going to transform and change. So if you want to see Barbados in a bit of its older form, it's changed a lot since it was like first like a couple years ago. It's changed a lot since then already, she was telling us, but if you want to see it in more of its kind of traditional form, you should probably do that sooner rather than later. And it was just so fascinating to learn so much and see so much, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of the landmarkers along with us. And then after that we went swimming. You've seen a swimming clip, and Mummy did 70 laps and I did 72 because I am ever competitive. It was a bit of a competition. At first I was going to do 40, then Mummy did 40, so I was like, I'll do 50. She did 50, then I was like, I'll do 60, and then we went up to 70 and 72. That is the nature of being in my family, if you wondered where I get my competitive streak from. And I won, obviously. Need to win at something since I lost that TVR challenge with Hannah. And it was really nice to just spend the last few moments swimming and in the pool. I'm gearing for us to go for some last rum cocktails because I just love the rum cocktails here. I think this is, I'm Jamaican and I just, it's a sin for me to say this, but I do think Barbadians do the rum better. But yeah, I do like the Bajan rum quite a lot. And hopefully we'll have cocktails, watch some more Bridgerton that Mummy's loving, and then it'll just be the flights back home. There is a flight that we're doing from Barbados to Jamaica, and then we have 1 day in Jamaica, and then we fly back from Jamaica all the way back to London. So I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done on those flights. I'm hoping to finish Annie John, but you might see a little bit of Jamaica if we end up doing anything fun on our last day. It's supposed to be like a transition and doing personal admin stuff that we need to do family-wise, but we'll see what happens. It's been so much fun and I'm gonna miss it so much, just the heat and the fact that this is like my trip from Jamaica just piggybacked off of this one to Barbados. It's been a glorious 2 weeks off and I needed that rest, I needed that relaxation, and I, not to be dramatic, needed that sun.